In this video, we'll see about the array object in JavaScript. Array object is a built-in object and it is used to store multiple values in a single variable. In JavaScript, a single array can hold different types of data. That is, an array can have string data, a number, or an object. An array object can be created in the following ways. Either you can use array constructor or array literal notation can be used for this purpose. First we will see how it is done using array constructor. Array constructor creates an array. In order to create an empty array, that is, empty array is created where we do not know the exact number of elements. In that case, the syntax is where the array name has to follow all the rules of naming identifier equal to new array, where A is capital. This is array, here is the constructor, and new was used to create the array object. In order to create an array of any given size, you can give the syntax like this, where our array name is equal to new array of size. Example, to create an array of size 10, A is equal to new array, that is the constructor, within brackets you give the size, where here is to specify the declaration of this particular array. You can also create an array with given elements. That is done using the syntax where array name equal to new array, give the elements based on the type of elements you give them. If it is a string, you have to give within single or double quotes. Otherwise, and if it is a number, you can give it without quotes. An example is done here where A is equal to new array of the elements are fruits. This is an example code for creating array using constructor, where fruits is equal to new array of, it is an empty array constructor, and elements are added into this array using the array indexes. Okay. First element of an array has the index 0, and the next element will be 1, the next it will be 2, and so on. Here fruits of 0 is assigned apple, and fruits of 1 is orange, fruits of 2 is mango, and you can print it using for loop. And fruits here is the array object. Dot length is the property used to find the number of elements in the array. So the loop will be iterated until the length of the array, that is the fruits, and you can see the list of fruits in the array displayed in the output. And the next example uses numbers, that is here it is not an empty array constructor. Inside the constructor itself I specify the elements and find the sum of the elements in the array using a sum variable. Sum is equal to sum plus num of I. Okay, num is the array name here, and I is the subscript that is used, or index that is used to access the elements. Next is using creating an array using literal notation, and this literal notation are comma separated list of items enclosed in square brackets. You can see the syntax where array name equal to square bracket. Within square bracket you mention the items, as you can see in the example, where A is equal to square bracket element 1 comma element 2 both are strings, so I specify them using double quotes. And third element is a number, and fourth is a boolean. Next is about the array objects property. Only one property is mentioned here, that is the length, which holds the number of elements in array. Example is done here, and here the array has been created using little notation, that is the square brackets. Within square brackets the elements are mentioned, and when you use a dot length, it will display the number of elements in the array, as you can see in the output. There are 6 elements in this array, so the output is 6. Next is methods in an array. First one is concat. Concat joins 2 or more arrays and returns the joined array. As you can see in the brackets, array 1, one array is the array that you concat with, that is array object dot concat of array 1, that is the second array. Okay, the remaining arrays are optional, that is you can join either 2 or more of them. If only 2 arrays, you need to specify only the first parameter. If there are multiple of them, then you need to specify them separated by comma. Join separator, that is the second method. Here join is used to join all the elements of an array into string, which is separated using comma. By default the separator is comma. You can also change that separator using this parameter separator, which is optional. That is, separator is optional. It is used to specify the character that is to be used as separator. Okay, if it is omitted, that is, if you don't specify the separator, the elements are separated with a comma. Pop removes the last element of an array and returns that array. Okay, returns that array, but a pop as output will display the popped out element. Okay, removed element. Push adds new element to the end of the array. Within brackets of push, you need to specify the element to be pushed into the array. So within brackets, you need to specify the new element. So an example using those 4 methods, we have 2 arrays here, A and B, which have been assigned elements using little notation, and you can see res is the variable to which we assign the concatenated array, that is A dot, the A is the first array name, and dot concat B. So elements of B will be concatenated with A and will be assigned to result. You can also use this directly here, that is instead of giving res, you can give here directly A dot concat of B, which will also derive the same result. As you can see in the output, the concatenated array has all the 8 elements of both A and B. Next is using join. Here I have used join separator as semicolon. If this semicolon is not mentioned, if you give only a dot join empty brackets, in that case it will be displaying it as comma separated, that is 1 comma 2 comma and so on. Okay, since here I have specified the semicolon, it displays the result as 1 semicolon 2 semicolon and so on. And next is using pop. Pop removes the last element. When you use this pop on array A, it removes the last element, and that is what is returned to D. So you can see in the result, element popped out is 4. That is the last element of the array A. Okay, and next is push method. Push method adds an element the given element to the end of the array. Since here also we have mentioned a array, it adds this new element to the end of the array A. So you can see the output 1, 2, 3, 90. That is 4 has been already removed. So the previous method pop removes 4 from the array. So 4 is not seen in this output. It displays instead of 4 90. That is the element lastly added to the array. Next method is reverse, which reverses the order of the list of elements in the array. Shift is removes the first element of the array and returns that element. Pop removes the last element, whereas shift removes the first element. And sort is a method that is used to sort the elements of an array in ascending order. That is the default order. In order to change this sort order, that is in order to change it to descending order, you need to define your own function for that purpose. And that is what is given within square brackets here, compare function. If you want to change the sort order, then in that case you can give the function name which you are using to define the task for a descending order. So an example for using all those methods, that is first here is we are using here shift. First array is a list of fruits, and the first document.write displays the original array, and in the next document.write a.shift is done. That is, it removes the first element from the array, which is oranges. As you can see in the output, it displays oranges. And reverse of the array will reverse this array, that is banana apples. It displays the output as banana apples from the end of the array. It will be reversed. Okay. And next uses sort. By default it is ascending order, so it arranges the fruits in ascending order. Next method is slice. Slice has two parameters which are optional, and it is used to select a part of an array and returns that part as a new array. Start here indicates where to start the selection, and the first element has an index of 0 here. Use negative numbers to select from the end of an array. If this start is not given, if it is omitted, it acts like 0. That is, by default the start will be from 0. End specifies where to end the selection, and if omitted, all elements from the start position to the end of the array will be selected. And here also you can use negative numbers to indicate the end of an array, to select from the end of an array. Note, end set but does not include the given end argument. Okay, end set, that is the value given in end will not be taken for slicing purpose. We'll see example of this. Here the original array is the one array A with the fruits, and the second document.write we do slicing. That is, start index is given here 1 and end index is given as 2. So that is, it will be slicing the array. Here oranges is 0. Okay, and second one is grapes. 2 represents pineapple. Since the value we mention in the end is not considered, it will be slicing only the array with element grapes. As you can see the output, it has only one element grapes. Next case, start index is given, end index is not given. So in that case it will start from 1. It will start from 1, and since end is not specified, It will take all the elements till the end of the array. So it will start from grapes, as you can see in the output, grapes, pineapple, apples and banana. That is, starts from grapes and slices the array including all the remaining elements in the array. And next slice of uses negative numbers. Here the start index is given as -3 and end index is -1. -1 here indicates the last element of the array, and -2, in this case -1 represents banana, -2 is apples, -3 is pineapple. So it will begin slicing from pineapple, and then apples is also done. Banana is not included since, as I mentioned before, the index representing end is not included for slicing purpose. So we have the sliced array as pineapple and apples only. Next method is splice. Splice as parameters index, how many and items. Okay, that is used to add or remove elements from an array. Okay, index here indicates the starting position where we need to add or remove element, and how many here specifies the number of elements to be removed, and item 1 to item n represents the elements to be added to the array. You can do both adding and removing in splicing. The index here specifies the place where we need to add or remove element. Both are represented using index, and how many represents only the elements to be removed, and items here represents the elements to be added to the array. We see the example in the next slide. ToString returns a string with all array values which are comma separated, and unshift with a list of items adds this new items to the beginning of the array. Instead of adding one item, we can add multiple items to the beginning of the array, and it returns the new length. Okay, value of returns the primitive value of the array object. We'll see the examples for this. So you can see A is the array with a list of roots, and the first document.write displays the original array. In the second document.write, splice is done where the start index is position 1. Position 1 here represents grapes. Okay, and how many elements to be removed is specified in the second parameter, which is here 2, which means starting from index 1, remove 2 elements, that is grapes and pineapple are removed, and then at this position at index 1, that is position 1, that is at the place of grapes, add this given elements, that is here the elements added are kiwi, mango and strawberry. Since we remove grapes and pineapple, the list becomes oranges followed by kiwi, mango, strawberry, apple and banana. As you can see in the output, array after splicing is oranges, kiwi, mango, strawberry, apple and banana. Okay, when you use splicing, it actually removes the it actually displays the elements removed. Okay, as you can see on the second output, spliced array removing items at 1 and 2 and inserts new set of fruits. You see two outputs, grapes and pineapple. Those are the elements removed from the array. Okay, that will be displayed by splice, and here I am using another document.write in order to print the new array. So that is array after splicing now is the new A. That is what we see in the third output, that is array after splicing. Okay, next is using unshift. unshift adds elements at the beginning of the array. So unshift of, here I have added only dragon fruit. You can add more than one fruit here, and as you can see, this unshift always returns the number of elements currently in the, after adding this new element, what is the total number of elements in the array will be displayed by unshift. As you can see, in the fourth line of the output, it displays 7. Previously it was 6 elements. Now when we add dragon fruit to it, it displays the number of elements as 7. Okay, that is the output of unshift. And next is toString. toString displays the array comma separatedly. As you can see, the new array: dragon fruit, oranges, kiwi, mango, strawberry, apple and banana. 7 elements are displayed comma separatedly. Value of also does the same thing. It displays the contents of the array. Next is, these are the methods of a array object. Next we will see the loops that are associated with arrays. First one is foreign. It is used to iterate through the properties or indices of an object. That is, objective here can be array, string, etc. Okay, this is the syntax for using foreign loop. For variable name in iterable object. Here for and in are keywords. Iterable object here is, it can be array name or string name. Okay, within braces you can specify the code or the task to be performed. We will see an example for this. Fruits is an array, that is iterable. A literal notation is used here, and for within brackets I is the variable name used in fruits, that is the array name, and here I represents the index of the elements in fruits. Okay, so you can see at the output there is element at index I, that is the variable we use here, is fruits of I. So here for in is used to iterate through the properties or indices of the objects. So this in this case, for in iterates through the indices of the array fruits. Okay, and you can see the output also. This is the simplest way of using for loop with the arrays. You can also do the same with strings also. The next loop is for of loop. For of loop is used to iterate through the elements of the object. The same, but the difference is this iterates through the elements. The previous one iterates through the indexes. Okay, and the syntax is for variable of iterable object, and within braces give the code. Let's see an example. Here the first example uses fruits array, and the elements of the fruits array are displayed here. Here you can directly specify I to represent the elements. You need not specify fruits of I. Okay, you instead specify the variable I, which represents the elements of the array. Okay, and the same is done using string also. Str is equal to hello, and we iterate through the elements of the array using the variable I. As you can see in the output how it is displayed. You need not specify here str of I or here fruits of I. You can directly use the variable name which contains the elements. Now that's all about the arrays in JavaScript. Thank you.